This week on episode 176 of the Convincing Idiots podcast, we're not talking about the Oscars. We're talking about the Razzies this week, gentlemen. And is Star Wars only for men, or can women enjoy it as well? It's been a lot of social media buzz recently. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to check in with our feelings. Elmo asked recently how everybody's doing. We're going to ask each other how we're doing. And we all know that everyone enjoys watching us over and over again. And we're going to talk about our favorite movies that for us have infinite rewatchability. Keep listening, keep watching, hang with us, and let's start the show.
All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Cajun.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And hello out there. My name is Nicholas, and I'm a millennial. And if you are joining us for the first time, we welcome you to Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of three different friends representing three different generations. We get together here each and every week to discuss nerd and pop culture issues of the day and things that we find interesting. And hey, we think you might as well. So if you've not already done so, please feel free to go find us on all your favorite social media accounts. We are on the majority of them. You can find links to those on our link tree. So just go to Google and type in Convincing Idiots Linktree, Linkree, and you can follow all of those links to your heart's content. You can also find our link to our merch store. Hey, by the way, we also have a brand new merch store is already set up. It's live. It's ready to go, and more probably to come on TeePublic. So if you guys are familiar with TeePublic, I know all three of us have discussed in the past a lot of things we've gotten from TeePublic and how much we appreciate the quality of the products that they put out. So now we are on TeePublic as well. So yes, we have a merch store up there for you. There are links to where you can subscribe to this podcast each and every week. You can also find all that information and so much more on our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. And hey, I don't say it all the time, but because I used to say it and then I kind of forgot. But if you have a smart speaker, you could ask it to play the Convincing Idiots podcast, and it'll probably find us. I mean, being as massive as we are and the global podcast and the presence that we are in the media space,
Listenership or our size?
Choose your own adventure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. We are back here on Convincing Idiots. Brian, how has your week been?
Good, man. So, last evening, went out and played trivia with Dean and Jonathan and Rochelle and
That's Dean right there. We gotta raise your hand.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And Jeff. So that was a lot of fun. And
Jeffy Evans?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Miss
You'd
Jeffy.
accept an invite. You'd get to hang out with Jeff
I
sometime.
miss Jeffy. One of these days, I gotta reach out to Jeff and get together soon.
Dickhead with us.
Oh no! I just the Jeff is what I'm after.
Aw,
Yeah.
that makes me kind of happy. Go ahead, Brian.
I'm just going to add that game one, we were tied for first place
All
until the
right.
very last question, and Dean fucked it up. Did not use my guess and chose his own, and we lost. So that's okay. That's fine.
Is
It was a good time.
this brewery trivia, right? Is that
Yep.
the brewery? Okay.
Yep. In fairness, I didn't know my answer was right either. It was a guess. So anyway, it was. We'll get into it later.
But you had the right guess?
He did.
I did happen to have. It was like. Here's the question. The question was the last movie from 30 plus years ago where we had two nominees in the same movie for Best Actress, not Best Supporting Actress, Best Actress in the same movie. I guessed only movie I can think of.
Let Nick give it a shot.
What do you think of 30?
Best
30
actress
years
and supporting actress in the last 30 years?
No.
Both two actresses were. Wow, that was weird.
Yeah.
Both actresses are nominated for Best Actress.
Yes, not but both separately. So obviously,
two actresses in the same film that are nominated for Best Actress.
For lead actress, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, as you can imagine.
5 times, actually.
There you go. Yep.
Initially, one that came to mind, but I know it's not right because she won for Best Supporting Actress. I was thinking Girl Interrupted with Angelina Jolie and Winona Ryder, but I know Jolie won it for Supporting Actress. Man.
We'll give you a hint. It's like 30 years ago.
It is like, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So early 90s?
Yep.
Yes. And there was a slew of like movies that had like strong female leads, a bunch of them in that time frame.
I don't know. I'm not going to create too much debt. I don't know. Who? Give me. What is it? I'm not going to.
I said fried green tomatoes. It had a strong female cast, a lot of good actresses. But then Brian came up with the correct one, which I did not use. I typed in because I had the phone that was typing it, and so I typed in fried green tomatoes. But Brian had told me, and ended up being correct with
Thelma and Louise.
I would never guess either one of those.
Susan Sarandon. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The first one I didn't know that was a real thing. I thought it was fried green tomatoes. Is that what you said?
Yes. Okay. It is a film.
It wasn't nominated for Best Actress, but just the one. So it was a good guess. It was fine.
Okay.
We had a good time.
Okay. It was fun.
As long as you have fun losing, that's all that matters.
Yeah. We normally have fun losing on day-to-day, life. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then last Saturday, Allie and I went to. She found this and really wanted to go, and I couldn't. So I'm not going to say no, certainly, because when Allie finds something she really wants to do, I do it because it doesn't happen a whole bunch. Usually, she just kind of goes along with whatever. But there was a international short film festival in downtown Kent at the Kent State University area. So we did that. We went to the Bell Tower Brewing Company beforehand, which is a nice brewery in Kent. It was an old church. They converted to a brewery, had a nice dinner and some beers there. And then went to the short film festival. Longer than we thought. We were there about 3.5 to 4 hours.
That's what she said about you, too.
That's right. I'll take that. Longer than I thought. Anyway, so we had a great time. It was, hanging out with the cool crowd or whatever. So it's something that I would do again. So it was a very good cultural experience. We had a great night out. So,
did you see? So how many different short films? Or whatever, how many did you see?
20 some, I want to say, something like that.
So is it one viewing? Does everyone see all of them, or is it different? Okay.
Yep. So they do half of them. They give you an intermission. Another half. I mean, they have a bar and stuff. You can have a beer and stuff like that. I mean, the movies are literally from around 2 minutes each to up to 15 minutes. It's the longest one. You know what I mean? So you get several different. Anybody can submit a film. Apparently, they had some from local filmmakers in Ohio, students, etc. Others but they had some from all around the globe that submitted an entry there. So it was good. It was very, very, and since it moves along so quickly because it's a short story, the next one, short story, the next one. So it doesn't feel like you're sitting there as long. You know what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
but it is something that we would do again for sure. So nice job to the company, whatever, the local community that put that thing together. They have a lot of other community things they do to support the arts. So very, very cool thing. So that's it. So
Nice.
a busy week at work and all that. So yeah, glad to be hanging out with you guys. So and wind down the week. So
That's right.
Dean, how are you, sir?
I'm well. Last weekend, I wanted to mention that we took the kids. For Christmas, we got both kids an experience gift, which we all did. You know, both of them. A couple weeks ago, we did for Carter. We got the rock climbing, like boulder climbing. You know, on a wall, not actual outside rocks, but that was fun. With the hurt
Just take
shoulder,
them out to the fucking park. Like climb those
you see
fucking
that
rocks
hill?
over there.
Just climb it.
Go
Go ahead.
fucking get it.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still
This
out
is
there
an
somewhere.
experience. Get up that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Go.
No, but that was fun. But this past weekend, we did a pottery spinning, where you spin on the wheel, your own ball, make your own cup or bowl or whatnot.
Okay.
And that was fun. And then you got to paint it, and they fire it in the kiln, and I'll have to go back and go get them. But yeah, that was
there
that was a cool experience.
Is there like an instructor, like a wine and
Yeah.
paint thing? Is there somebody
Yeah.
like here's like
Yeah,
trying to
she
walk them
teaches
through?
you and stuff. Kind of a quick how to, some of the important things. The kids' bowls and Megan's bowl, everybody's looked great. Mine might have been a little lopsided. Like the edge kind of come up on the top. And I looked at it, and the girl walks by doing the class, and she's like, "Oh wow, it's really cool that it's like, imperfect, and that it's kind of got its personality. I really like how it looks." And I'm pretty sure she was just saying that because she wanted us to fucking hurry up and be done with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I think it looks great like a piece of shit. I think you should just leave it like that. It's great.
terrific.
I don't think any fine tuning is really necessary.
Nope.
It gives a character.
Imperfect, like the spinner. So
Now, were you haunted by the ghost of Patrick Swayze?
yeah, I felt his presence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come up from behind and kind of intertwine with my hands. It was quite magical, actually.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't. It was very, very. I want to say sexy. They did frown upon when I took my shirt off, but it was still good.
Mm-hmm.
But in their defense, everybody frowns upon when I take my shirt off. So, other than that,
It's not against any rules. It's just frowned upon.
correct. Well, in this house, Megan has now made a rule that I can't take my shirt off. It's kind of mean. I have to shower with a wetsuit.
She has a Winnie the Pooh fetish.
Like the husky kid in the pool. With you got your shirt on.
Actually, I have to. That's how I shower. This is Winnie the Pooh style. And again, in her defense, I have gotten my head stuck in a couple honeypots.
Sure.
So I get it. But yeah, other than that, I caused the loss for the trivia last night, and other than that, that's about it. That's about all we got.
How does it feel to cost your team?
I legitimately was pissed at myself. Like, I was mad.
Yeah.
I went outside. I was like, "God damn it, you fucking idiot."
Sorry.
Like the smartest guy at the table, and you're like, "Oh, I think I can guess. My guess is probably better. Let's go with that." Moron.
Well, when you're dumb, you don't realize you're dumb. You know what I mean? Because you're too dumb to understand that you're dumb.
Well, that's the scary thing. I'm at the scary point where I do know how dumb I am, and I just don't care.
No control over it.
Yes, that's the dangerous part.
My idiocy overcomes me, and there's nothing I can do to stop it.
I have that little guy in the back of my head screaming, "Hey, dum dum, don't do that! Damn it!"
Listen, in all fairness, you had some tough questions leading up to that. We would not have been tied for first place leading up to that if you wouldn't have had some of those tough questions answered too. So,
Frank goes, in all fairness,
it's
no
all
one was.
good.
You couldn't have been more pissed at yourself as I was. So it's fine. No one was more angry at you than me.
So, Nikolai, what you been up to?
Oh, just hanging out, hanging with the fam, and got Friday night. Had a lovely evening over at the Blake's house. We went over and hung out with Aaron of
Very
Blake
nice.
Insurance Agency.
Wow.
Had a lovely evening over
Man,
there
that
and
was
hanging out with
celebrity.
them.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Contractual obligation.
Contractual obligation. That's right. I'm gonna cash in on that annual hangout right now. I'm gonna need you to have me over. But no, it was a good time. Went over there and hung out with them and watched some TV and just hung out. So that was cool. And Saturday went to the Cleveland Monsters game. We had I bought tickets a while ago, and Robin wasn't feeling good, so we called up my mom a couple hours before the game and said, "Do you want to go to the Monsters game?" And of course she did. So we took my mom to the game as well.
Nice.
It was a good time. Nice dinner at Wahlburgers downtown Cleveland. That's usually the spot we like to hit. They have pretty good food. I mean, I don't know if either one of you ever been to Wahlburgers or not.
I
but
have.
It doesn't blow you away. It's not like
it's
the
a
best,
decent
but
burger.
it's fine. I mean, it's above your average, place. But again, it's not like an extensive menu that's going to knock your socks off. But it's a good, solid meal, and really price wise, pretty reasonable.
Mhm.
But yeah, we had a nice little weekend there, and that was about it, man. I don't think I did much of anything on Sunday. I just watched football, sat back, and won a lot of fucking money. So,
Good. Look at
won
that.
a bunch of money betting. Actually, I've been clearing last couple weekends. I've been cleaning up pretty good. So, I don't mean to brag, but I signed up for Bet365. I think you deposit like $50 or $20 or something like that. They give you 150 in bonus bets, and then I now can cash out. I've got like $230 in that some bitch.
Wow,
And I
nice.
still got 100 and some in bonus bets. So Robin hit real big payout this weekend. She did like a 3-leg parlay on the Niners game and hit that. So she cleaned up pretty fucking good. So it was pretty good. Sunday was a nice little kickback and win some money day for the family. So that was cool. That's about it.
Nice.
So
Good.
you guys do the sports betting? Dean, I know you had done some a couple weeks ago or whatever. Yeah.
On the big games and whatnot, playoffs, I'll do it. And so far, I've lost every one this year. So
yeah. Free plug.
Never have done it once.
Free
Kinda like
plug.
trivia.
I like Bet365. I've done FanDuel. Fanatics is pretty good too. Their sports book is all right. I've done DraftKings. I don't like that one as much, but Bet365, they let you use your bonus bets in whatever increments you want, so you don't have to blow them all at once. You can slow and steady, and place your bets over time. And between hockey and football, I've been doing pretty good. So I'm a quick shout out to Bet365. So far, so good with them. I like that one. So
Awesome.
yeah. So
I saw
if they were a sponsor.
Yeah.
that's right. Well, maybe they will be. Maybe they'll be.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're already giving it for free, but
Right.
if it,
You just gave away the goddamn cow.
Yeah.
What do you mean
yeah,
to-
right. And I'm already
you-
making money from them, so there's probably no reason for them to give us more.
Right.
But
Use your code on Bet365, Convincing Idiots, for absolutely nothing.
that's right.
There you go.
Direct message me if you want a code. I'll get you hooked up with it.
Yeah.
You get bonus bets. I get bonus bets. Everybody wins.
Actually, I might reach out to you. Honestly.
Yeah. Yep.
For the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
maybe I'll check that out. I also saw Nick in the world of sports. You mentioned sports. I saw your main dude, Austin Matthews, on pace for 70 goals. Is that what I'm seeing
Sir.
in the
Yep.
sports
Yep.
world?
He's leading the scoring race. He's having another incredible season. When he scores in games, it's rarely just one. It's 2 or 3 per game. So he's
Mhm.
really just been kicking ass.
Now
Now
is that equaling out to the Leafs wins also?
no, it's not.
No? Okay. All right.
I mean, they're doing all right. I don't have. I don't. They'll probably lose in the first round again. It doesn't even matter who they play. I'm pretty confident they will. But he's on pace for. It's certainly not to the disservice of Poppy. He is pulling more than his fair share of the weight. So we need some other people to step up, and defense is a problem. But that's neither here nor there. But Austin's doing great, doing big things.
Good.
Yep.
Very good. Well, let's keep going. Can we keep going, Nick? Have you, besides hockey and cleaning up on sports, watching football, have you watched anything you wish to recommend an idiot reviews?
Yeah. Well, I'll do quick. Just this evening, this weekend is the NHL All-Star Game. So they've tried different formats in the past. This year, they're bringing back the fantasy draft. So there are 4 star players that have a team. and they each have a celebrity captain that's helping coach them or whatever. So Michael Bublé is one of the celebrity captains, Will Arnett is another one, Tate McRae is the other one, and then Justin Bieber is Matthew's celebrity coach as well. So they did their fantasy draft tonight, which was, it's a fun idea, like it's really cool, but like it just sucks that like hockey players, like to get them to come out of their shell, they're just so vanilla that like it's unless they're drunk, it's just not that entertaining. It's very clunky and awkward, and the interactions between them
Again, like this podcast.
Yeah, it's just like it's very whatever. It's like they try to do fun things, but the guys are just so like robotic, and there's there's some guys that have personality more than others, but the vast majority of them are just kind of
you got
uncomfortable and robotic. But yeah, so I watched that this evening. I also watched this weekend, on the topic of football, I watched the Bye Bye Barry documentary.
Yeah, so good.
Was it on Amazon, I think?
Yeah, Amazon Prime. Yep.
Really, really good. And we've all discussed Barry Sanders before. Everybody knows who Barry Sanders is, one of the greatest running backs of all time. Probably would still have a rushing title had he continued to play.
For sure.
But it just really, when you watch that, it really highlights the kind of guy Barry Sanders was, and like everybody knows he was kind of quiet and different kind of good, but just to the extent that like personal accolades and accomplishments like did not matter to this guy, and not in a way that he's looking down on other people to do or anything like that. Just like what a true just nose to the grindstone, like competitor, head down, does the work, and is interested in none of the extras. And I mean, in a sport like football, where there are a lot of big personalities, if everybody was a Barry Sanders, it would be boring as shit. So I'm not saying like everyone should be like that necessarily, because there's a lot of people that go, oh, just why do they have to celebrate like that? Like, whatever, hand the ball off. That's what Barry Sanders did. And it's great and it's admirable and it's cool. But like if everybody was Barry Sanders, it would be the NHL and it would be boring. So like the fact that there's personality, and I do like that. But when there is somebody like him, it really who does stand out for having that mentality and having that demeanor. It's definitely admirable, and it's really cool. And it was that documentary is by far the most I've ever heard Barry Sanders speak in my entire life. So it was kind of cool to like hear from him and hear him openly talk about all these things, through the years and different accomplishments he had and his viewpoint. And of course, it revolves around him just kind of walking away at the prime of his career. And once again, admirable. A lot of, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who wants to go watch it, but there was quite a few things at play. But, again, hats off to him for, he saw some good buddies of his like get seriously injured and their careers ended. And, it was important for him to have a life outside of football and stuff, and be around, in good shape for his kids and stuff. And, but yeah, it was just really great. Really, really good documentary. Would highly recommend it.
It made me angry on his behalf again, going back and reliving that the Lions just totally fucked up.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep key players around him. Went to the NFC Championship, and just that was it. They never got any farther with him until, of course, now the Lions, this last weekend, but never with him. It didn't make any sense, and they just fucked it up, and just kind of drove him into retirement eventually.
Yeah. So like we watched I watched that on Saturday, and then like on Sunday was the Lions game, and obviously during the broadcast they're talking about how like the Lions have never been to the Super Bowl, and I'm like, it is, and so I've got all that in my head fresh from watching and I'm like, man, it is so crazy that like with like Barry Sanders, like that he never even made it to a Super Bowl is just really quite mind-boggling. But and it's a shame. But I would, like I said, it's just a great like human interest story. Really, I mean, you don't even have to be, I don't say, a football fan to watch it. It's just a really interesting documentary. And then also I rewatched Napoleon Dynamite, because I'm at a place now where I'm trying to see what things, like I wanted to show Lane. I'm like, it's time for you to see certain movies. I just want to know, I want to know how they hold up, and like, and I want to see like what what is your sense of humor? Like, what is it, like weird offbeat stuff? Is it more like, I mean, it's 12 years old, so it's probably going to be a little more on the nose stuff, but some of the stuff that he likes, I was like, so we watched that, and I asked for his review of it, and he goes, "It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. It wasn't the worst, but it certainly did not. It wasn't doing
Move the
anything
needle.
special for him. Yeah, right. So, but I always enjoy it. But yeah, that was about it. I haven't seen the movie in a really long time, but yeah, that's about it. Just been watching a lot of sports and playoffs and all that good stuff. So
It's funny you say that, Nick, because I did the same type of thing. I hadn't watched that movie. I have a copy of it at home. I had it for years, and then it was right around the same age. I think it was Peyton was a young preteen or a young teen or something like that. And when she was spending the night one night, I'm like, let's put this on. And she loved it, and it made me appreciate the movie. We just enjoyed that. So that's sort of became a thing there for a minute. That was a little connection that she and I had for a little while. Was Napoleon Dynamite quotes and different things. So it's just kind of cool, like you say. It's hit and miss what you like, if your kids like it or not. But when you have that experience and that connection, enjoying something with your kids, it really is pretty cool. But that fond memories of that movie with Peyton when she was young.
I told him early on, we were about 10 minutes in, and I said, I just want you to know, I said, because the first time I watched it, I was waiting the entire time to figure out the plot. I said, I just want you to know, I'm going to clear it up for you now. There's no plot. There's absolutely no plot to this movie whatsoever. Like, there's not an end goal. It just kind of is a snapshot in this weird person's weird-ass life this amount of time, and that is it. And it leaves you no further in life than with no lessons than where you found it. But it is what it is. So don't look for a hidden meaning, because there isn't one. But
that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Good
so
stuff.
that's about it. Dean, have you watched anything new this week?
Quantum Leap's back.
Okay.
To finish out the season. It's got finished the last 5 here coming up. But yeah.
Take a drink out there if you're playing the convincing idiots drinking game.
Everybody take a drink here. But still running, still as good as it started the season. Let's see. I watched the Royal Rumble, which you guys, John and I, hung out and watched the Royal Rumble. That was fun.
Who won?
Yay!
Oh, it was Cody Rhodes. Dusty's
Dusty
kid.
Rhodes' son. Okay.
Ooh, so he beat Roman. Did he beat Roman Reigns this year or something? Is that what it was?
He will fight him at WrestleMania now, since he won the Royal Rumble. He goes on again because this is the second year in a row.
Shot at the title.
Yeah, and then there's rumors of The Rock being part of WrestleMania coming up. And then we actually just saw that today, Megan and I started watching season 2 of Love on the Spectrum. I don't know if you guys watched the first season.
I've seen a couple episodes, yeah.
But it's heartwarming. It's it's people. They're like a group of young 20-somes looking to date. Some for the first time.
Gonna get it wet.
Yeah, and they're going on dates, and they're all on one part of the spectrum of autism or another, and it's good. I enjoy it. There's some things that I know that it's supposed to show what it's supposed to be a heartwarming story about like what even with people with autism can do, capable of what that they still want love just the same as we do, or most of us. But there's a point where you if somebody had an argument that it is exploiting these kids, I could hear that argument. I would at least go, okay, I get it. But I know that's not why they're doing it. But it's still, I do recommend it. It is a heartwarming show. Each episode's about half hour long. It's a quick watch, but yeah, it's on Netflix. Love on the Spectrum. And I'm going to, since Nick's already gone and he didn't mention it, I guess I will go for him. Because over the weekend, Nick got to see how the sausage is made and talk to Blake himself and hear about Blake Insurance.
Actually, I got to see how the steak was made. He made steak and homemade guacamole, and they were both fucking nice.
Wow.
I would imagine that. I mean, anything that man touches is gold, just like your savings. If you go call Blake Insurance, because let me tell you, Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-579 or 571. I'm sorry. Jesus.
Don't call that one.
5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com. I'll repeat the number 234-571-5359 for your free 5-minute quote today. And you might be able to hang out with him just like our very own Nicholas did. And when you do, tell him that.
Send him our love.
You deserve to hang out with him like Uncle Nick did.
That's right.
Brian, what did you watch?
Very good. Well, TV-wise, I continue to watch nothing but Succession. I keep working through Succession. I'm on season 3 of 4 right now. Again, I'm completely into the story. It's great. Love it. So if you're, again, thinking about picking it up, you haven't seen it, or just start watching it. And if you like drama series, then I'm sure you'll get sucked into it like I have. And as suggested by Dean several times, Allie and I stayed home last Friday and thoroughly enjoyed The Holdovers, which is now streaming on Peacock for free, exclusively streaming there. Everything, Dean, you said about it before, which is great. You know, it's just a very nice, heartwarming movie.
Yep.
Paul Giamatti's up for Best Actor. He's favored to
Totally
win.
deserves it, right?
Absolutely. He was phenomenal. Let's see here. Dominic Sessa, who was played the student, Angus Tully, and Divine Joy Randolph, the cook, all staying behind at the school.
She's nominated
everybody
too.
else. Yes, she is. Also great. Wonderful.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it's an emotional movie. I mean, it definitely is a tearjerker, but it definitely hits you in the feels.
Yep.
That is
And beautifully
for
shot.
sure. Yeah, beautifully shot. I don't know where that school was, but to look that up.
I don't know.
But it was like real snow and background. It looked like it was just very, very well done. So if you're looking for a nice, heartwarming movie, go check out The Holdovers on Peacock. Fantastic. That's it. That's it for me.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, we don't want to hold over this segment a whole lot longer here. So we're going to, yes. So we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with some pop culture headlines, and we're going to answer a question posed by Elmo in our second segment. What is
Do
it?
I finally get to ask you why your hands up my ass?
Only way you'll know is to come back after the break.
Three.
All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots. Pop culture headlines, gentlemen. Last week we were talking about awards. It's awards season. So we've talked about last week the Oscars. Previously we had the Emmys, the Golden Globes,
The potties.
Yep. Which were up for another nomination, 3 consecutive years. Thank you very much. And don't look it up. It's hard to find the potties.
Yeah, don't. You shouldn't do that.
Just take our word
Trust
for it.
us.
It's a small thing over in Sweden. But anyways, we'll talk more about that.
We're gonna beat you again, Joe Rogan. We're coming for you again.
That's right. So, maybe we'll win the equivalent of the podcast awards. Maybe with this award here. So the Razzies have just been
I'm
announced
surprised we
here.
haven't got one of those.
Yeah,
I know we're up for a Rizzy, but a Razzie? I don't know about that.
I just got it nominated for a Jizzy, but that's
yeah,
neither here nor there.
yep. Dean wins that one very often.
Every year.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then Brian would be up for the Glizzy, of course, because
Yep, right.
Of course.
the size.
So the Razzies, if you ever heard of the Razzie before, it's basically awarding the worst movies and acting performances and so forth. And some people have fun with this. Like there was pretty well. Halle Berry was up for a Razzie for a Catwoman years ago, and she went out and proudly accepted it and all that. So obviously it just depends on your sense of humor and everything else here. So I'll just give you some of the nominations here. So worst picture nominees of 2024, according to the Razzies: Exorcist Believer. Again, this is the Exorcist sequel. I do want to see it because I'm such an Exorcist fan, but it just doesn't look that great. I don't know. Expendables 4.
Sure.
I loved Expendables 1, 2, 3. The fourth one did not. I don't know. And then it really took a tank in the box office. So
did that come out within the last year?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like late last year, and it really took a dive at the box office. So that might be the last time you see the Expendables. Meg 2, The Trench, so the giant shark movie. Shazam, Fury of the Gods, which I did see. That not good. You can find that on Max streaming.
Disappointing because the first one was pretty solid.
It was.
Which one?
Good.
Oh, the
Shazam sequel.
Yeah, I didn't see either.
Nah, it's not. And
I did see the first Meg. That was pretty good.
Okay. And
I saw
Dean,
Kazam
you talked to
long time ago, but whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Kazam with Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Shaq or was it with
it was Shaq.
Sinbad? Was it Shaq?
No, that's one of those Mandela effects where people think that Sinbad was in some type of genie boombox, but no.
I watched that movie when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And also, Dean, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was up for a worst
I'm gonna watch it. I got to.
Yeah. Worst actor: Russell Crowe for The Pope's Exorcist, Vin Diesel, Fast X, Chris Evans
anything he's in
for Ghosted, Jason Statham, Meg 2, John Voight, Mercy. Worst actress: Anna de Armas, Ghosted. I don't know what this Ghosted movie is. Megan Fox for Johnny and
anything
Clyde.
she does.
Yeah. Salma Hayek, Magic Mike's Last Dance. Jennifer Lopez, The Mother.
Wait a minute. Back up. What did you?
Salma Hayek,
Mike's
Magic Mike's Last Dance.
What is that?
It was the sequel.
Magic Mike was the male dancer movie.
Yeah, with the fuck, what's his name? The guy from 21 Jump Street and Channing Tatum.
Yep. Yeah, Channing Tatum. Yeah.
I did not know there was a Last Dance one.
Well,
here
because there was a second one, right? And this was like the third one.
Third one. Yes. Yeah. Apparently, it's The Last Dance. After the Razzie one.
Promise.
And then Helen Mirren for Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Oh wow!
It had to have happened before that somebody that's won an Oscar also wins for worst. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has to be there. Yeah. Worst supporting actress: Kim Cattrall, About My Father. Megan Fox for Expendable 4. So she's got 2 nominations.
Oh wow!
May Ling, Johnny and Clyde. Lucy Liu for Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Again, terrible movie. Mary Stuart Masterson, Five Nights at Freddy's.
There we go. I was wondering when that was going to show up.
There you go. Worst supporting actor: Michael Douglas, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I'm doing the thumbs up by accident. No, he wasn't. Mel Gibson, Confidential Informant. Bill Murray, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, he was not good in that.
No.
Francis Nero as the Pope in The Pope's Exorcist, and Sylvester Stallone, Expendables 4. I'll pan down here a little bit here. Worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel: Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Exorcist Believer, Expendables 4, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Bullshit. That was fun.
Yep.
That was a fun one. I don't agree with that.
And worst screenplay, again, there's other stuff here, worst director, etc. Worst screenplay, The Exorcist, Believer, Expendables 4, Indiana Jones, and The Dial of Destiny, Shazam, Fear of the Gods, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So we'll see who the big winners are. We'll come back and recap the winners. And it's the 44th edition coming up of the Razzies.
I did hear Blood and Honey in there for a lot of different nominations.
Yes, indeed.
It's like 3 or 4 drops there.
Yep. So there you go. So it, yeah, that's it. So that's we'll check out the Razzies.
Of the Razzie movies, which one do you want to see the most? I assume, Dean, would it be Blood and Honey for you? Which one would you be most likely to watch of the ones that you heard a lot of names on there?
Yeah, for me, Expendables 4. I did like the first 3, and I love those Stallone and all the old action guys. I'll probably go back and watch that at some point on streaming. So that's it for me. How about you, Nick? Any wish?
I would probably go with either Blood and Honey just as a standalone, just because it already kind of looks ridiculous, and then by all consensus it is. Or similar to you, I would be maybe likely to see the second Shazam just to see why, what went wrong, why is it bad, why is what happened. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's like a whole team of kids have the Shazam powers. How, why, where? It's not really explained too well. Here's I got a whole group of kids that can do the Shazam thing. It's just like, okay, it's in the bad guy. I don't know. Just didn't. But yeah, check it out on Max. Like I say, just experience the train wreck. Yeah, basically. Okay. Well, the Razzies are a real thing, but there's a new conspiracy theory out there that involves one of Nick's all-time favorite celebrities, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Well, your second favorite, I think, Dean.
That makes sense.
Taylor Swift obviously getting a lot of publicity for she's dating Travis Kelce of the Chiefs. If you're a Taylor
I think
Swift
he's
fan
getting more publicity for that than she
probably.
is.
Probably, and it's fine. I mean, they cut away and show her having fun at the game. I did enjoy. I don't care what people. I love to see Jason Kelce, Travis's brother, in the booth with no shirt, yelling holding a can of Labatt Blue, yelling and screaming for his brother. It's all just fun stuff. Who cares?
But when I do it, he says, "Stop ruining my birthday party."
Yeah,
double standard.
Exactly. That's right. So there's a new conspiracy theory by some, left wing or right wing, beg your pardon, right wing folks out there that believe that Taylor Swift it was fixed by the NFL to get the Chiefs into the Super Bowl, so you have a large platform, a large audience going to be watching the Super Bowl, and then Taylor Swift is going to come out and endorse Joe Biden at the Super Bowl and get all these people encouraged to go vote, which probably a 58% plus of her fans may not be old enough to vote yet. So let's put that aside for a second there, but so it's this whole propaganda, and
they're
news
saying
outlets and people
on the major news outlets, Brian.
Yeah.
Fox News, Newsmax, or whatever the fuck they are. They're actually, these are words they are saying on their broadcast, Nick. They are saying that she is a psyop, a CIA psyop. That she is a plant from the CIA, and this was all planned in order to get Biden elected. The Super Bowl's been rigged.
Well, why would they need to get people to vote when they could just steal it again like they did the first time? They didn't need Taylor 4 years ago.
So they have this. They said, "What a perfect match! You have this young CIA psyop, and then you have this." Then you have this meathead football player who's big pharma because he got vaccinated and he does those commercials. And again, I've heard this. This isn't me. This is
I know. I've seen the
And also that he does Bud Light commercials. So he is
Yeah.
also
yes.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
ultra woke
right wing,
yeah.
woke, and the whole
Mhm.
deal.
Culture.
So, yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, the insanity from these people. What it is, honestly, what it comes down to it is they are afraid. It is simple fear of that one young person has so much pull with her audience, that
Yep.
has so much influence on her fans, that when she tells them, and if they are old enough to vote, they will probably, not all of them, if they will probably listen to her endorsement.
Well, I mean,
And if
to be
it's-
fair, if Taylor Swift told me to vote for Don King for president, I fucking would. I mean,
She-
like, you know, why
there you go.
not?
Do you think that she will? Maybe, I know we don't believe in the conspiracy theory, but I don't know that she's really. She tends to keep her political beliefs, I believe, to herself. If I'm not
Well, she
mistaken.
came out last year. That
Yeah,
was, they
the
did
first
that video
last
with her
election was the
dad's
first
living room.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
But
she
she
had stayed,
endorsed
and
him.
actually, I told you guys a while ago, and this is kind of, you know, my big turn on Taylor Swift and how I became such a fan was watching that documentary that I was telling you guys. I reviewed one time, the Miss Americana, and it, you know, obviously outlines her career, different things that she's gone through in her career, and there's a big portion of it that, you know, focuses on that, and she's talking about, you know, for so long, you know, she didn't want to be, you know, the Dixie Chicks were cast aside when they spoke out
Right.
against Bush, and like, you know, that especially being that you're coming from country music and you want to try to, and when you go into pop, you want to, you know, have a broad appeal, be appealing to everyone, and don't, you know, make your opinions too known and all the stuff. And it just so happened to be that she felt very strongly about certain social issues that she felt the need to state her, you know, her opinions, which is admirable. And you know, if you don't agree with her, you don't have the same opinions, that's fine. But I mean, to be young for literally for her entire life, being in the spotlight and being directed by management and you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not only management, but you know,
influencers, handlers.
Yeah, handlers, and there's a word, but I can't think. Anyway, you know, publicists. That's what it is. Publicists and stuff. You know, protecting her image, telling her that this is how she should try to appeal to people and stuff. The fact that she would, you know, come out and make her something that she feels strongly about known is admirable. But yeah, I just but that was a big part of that documentary, was talking about that was she finally felt the need that she'd always tried to veer away from that. She didn't want to, you know, kind of make us some polarizing opinions. So, but that was just something that she felt like she had to do.
I got news for all these people, by the way. Taylor Swift does not need the fucking Super Bowl to reach millions of people.
No, she has the hottest tour going right now.
All she has to do is go on social
actually
media or news outlets. She can get on she says, I want to do a television interview. Every network, every news outlet are going to scramble over themselves to put her out there, if nothing else, for ratings, views, etc. So she doesn't need the Super Bowl, everybody, to get the extra exposure. So,
and the NFL is massive. It is huge. It is in the United States, hands down, far and away, the most popular sport there is. I mean, they print money. Taylor Swift is bigger than the fucking NFL. She is.
That's right.
It's not close. Like, she does not need the NFL either. Like, it's it's. I mean, if anything, they don't necessarily need her, but it benefits them greatly to have her at their games and on TV at their games.
Of course.
I mean, for sure.
All I know is this whole thing that's gone on this week, with everybody screaming and complaining about this conspiracy, it's changed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to root for the Chiefs. Just because I want to see everybody on the right the next day melt the fuck down completely.
Sure.
Now, I have a question. If they're fixing for the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl, right, so that Taylor can all this stuff, if we wanted to get deep into it, and if I wanted to just kind of disconnect from reality, like a lot of these people, and maybe I could maybe understand a little bit if Travis Kelce played for the Lions. A team that's been around and been, slowly built, but like now the Lions had a really great season, made it deeper. The Kansas City Chiefs have been into the Super Bowl and been winning Super Bowls over the last before Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were an item. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs have been winning Super Bowls, so there's a little bit of a problem with that theory.
Year or the AFC Championship game or something like that. So
exactly.
You know what I mean?
To say that
beat the team they're about to go against Sunday in the Super Bowl. This is a rematch from 2 years ago.
That's right.
And this might be striking a nerve, but this is a little crazier. But it's also like people acting like Deflategate was that big of a deal. Like fucking Tom Brady isn't the greatest to ever do it, and wasn't going to be in the fucking Super Bowl anyway. It's so ridiculous. I mean, I get that you want to grasp at straws and you want to try to knock the king off there a little bit, but I'm sorry to tell you, they were going to probably be there anyway.
Yep.
That's right. Well, we'll see what happens. On a much lighter story.
Yeah, just that all that makes me sad. It makes me sad that people are dumb, and it just kind of brings me a spiral. It just kind of makes me sad.
Well, I've said it before. I'll say it's very easy to rile up dumb people. It is. Sorry, it just is. Okay. On a much lighter story, Dune 2 is coming out in the theater very soon. And I just thought this was amusing. There is a collectible popcorn bucket. Have you seen this? Have you seen this on social media? I keep doing the thumbs up
what is
again. And this is worth a thumbs up, actually.
Dune 2 popcorn bucket.
Yes.
Check it out. Give it a look-see.
I'm going to look at it.
Treat yourself.
You can look it up on your own. I'm going to show it here on the camera here too. So,
you're okay.
So it's like a worm-like
bring
creature.
It down a little bit, Brian. He can't see the top of it all the way.
It's like a worm.
Why is it a butthole?
Well, that's what it looks like on top there. Now here it is on the side.
You have to reach in the butthole to get the popcorn.
So,
are you tired of sticking your dick through the bottom of the popcorn bucket? Well, we thought we'd make it a little more enjoyable to put it through the top.
Yeah. So there's been some funny tweets on this. There, one guy tweeted, 6 pumps of butter, hold the popcorn. one guy just quoted, just hear me out a minute. That's all he said. Oh my god. So yeah, so that's funny, isn't it? Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a good quote. Oh my god. Yeah, so no comment from Warner Brothers Discovery did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So people are commenting like somebody's getting fired over that. Maybe not, because people now it's become such an odd phenomenon.
There's a lot of them. Who doesn't want a butthole popcorn bucket?
Yeah, people's going to buy it to laugh at it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. So if you've not seen it, we'll post it out on our social media and stuff like that. But just look up popcorn bucket for Dune 2. It's the strangest collectible popcorn that you're ever going to probably ever see again, frankly. So it's like this. It's like a Sarlacc pit looking thing, basically. If you're a Star Wars
teeth.
fan here,
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, less teeth. The opening is much smaller, if you will. Yeah, so
tighter, you might say. Yeah.
Yeah, so crazy. A Texas, Nick, you like black metal, hard metal.
I do, yeah.
Right? Are you a black metal?
I don't black metal and stuff. That's more of like the black metal, death metal. I don't do a lot of that. I like a lot of like hardcore and like I like traditional metal and some thrash metal, metalcore stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a black metal band called Martyrdom. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. Martyrdom. Thank you. Excuse me. So they're out of Texas. So some of the news articles are just pretty funny. So they apologized recently for throwing an actual severed pig head into the crowd during a recent concert, and took some heat from the fans, not for throwing a severed pig head out there, but for the apology. So the fact that they issued an apology, I keep doing a thumbs up.
Okay.
Soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were going to say they were upset that it was maybe like a fake, a prop pig's head, and they're like, it
No.
needs to be fucking real.
no, it was a real pig's head they
Okay,
threw
well,
out.
that's good. They're authentic. So don't
they are
apologize for
authentic.
being authentic. Yes.
That's what people are saying.
Mhm.
So we are incredibly sorry to anyone we offended with our actions and gimmicks on stage. And somebody put up there, hey, very black metal of you, those type of comments. So they apologize for offending religion or vegans. Is what they did. So the fact that they apologized, they got more heat for that. So I just thought that was kind of a funny story. Yeah,
I would say there's probably not a lot of crossover, religion black metal fan, but maybe vegan black metal fans. I would say that maybe you got something there.
If you're a vegan, if you're going to see a black metal and you're offended because you're a vegan and throw a pig's head out there, I don't know. I mean, maybe you're in the wrong show, perhaps.
Yeah, you probably are.
I don't know.
Probably should have taken the left at Albuquerque.
Yes, exactly. Okay, there's a couple Star Wars stories out there in the news here. Obviously, we're huge Star Wars nerds, so a couple things here. Daisy Ridley has come out and speaking against sexism in Star Wars from Star Wars fans. She's saying that it's kind of blown out of proportion. So they're saying
there isn't that much sexism in Star Wars fan sectors. Is that what
she's saying? She's saying that there really isn't. So some people, but there's others that are, maybe suggesting that you can't have a powerful woman character in the Star Wars universe. And obviously, we had Princess Leia, who was probably one of the most powerful female characters, maybe in movie history, quite honestly. I mean, as a kid, that she was one of the most earlier powerful women on screen that I can remember as a kid anyway. You know what I mean? She was a heroine and a leader and everything else. We've talked about that before. So, but she's kind of coming out and defending Star Wars that, hey, it's a woman character can have a prominent storyline in this universe, and that she frankly hasn't even read the new script yet, but she understands it's going to be a very good, powerful script for the Rey character, so she's still planning to reprise her role of Rey for a movie that takes place, years after the last shitty Disney trilogy. So, any thoughts on that? As far as, do you agree that the female character can be prominent in the Star Wars universe? Any thoughts on that, guys?
Well, absolutely. I mean, she already was.
Right, they've already done it, and I mean,
Rey was the lead character.
Yeah, they keep going through. I mean, with like Ahsoka, and like Ahsoka was a lot of strong female characters in Ahsoka, both on good and evil. You know what I mean? So, and Star Wars continues to do that. So, I mean, I guess does Star Wars have its like incel nerd pockets? Yeah, absolutely. But like, there's gonna be some in every group. I mean, I get what she's saying. It's like it can be. You can focus. It's easy to focus on the bad stories and the people with the negative energy toward it. But I would say, in my experience, a lot of people I think a lot of what people like about Star Wars is they're in a world of total diversity. I mean, human beings and alien species and droids, and they all interact as things and beings and entities just trying to make it through to the other side and survive in the galaxy. I mean, to sit there and whether it's based on race or sex or anything like that, it's kind of silly in Star Wars. It's really misplaced because that Star Wars has never really been the place for that. Star Wars, like I said, it's always been very diverse as far as characters and creatures, and it's odd to me that someone as a Star Wars fan would fixate on subject matter like that, or like be upset that there's a strong female character or a black stormtrooper or what. It's just like, really, like, have you been here the whole time? Like, did you miss Princess Leia? Did you miss Lando? Like, did you, like, I don't understand, like, were you new here? Like, you didn't why are we doing this now? So I mean, I agree with what she's saying. It's probably easy to focus on the negative storylines, but I would say a lot of people who are really truly Star Wars fans and fans of that universe are probably not the majority of those people.
That's actually a good segue into the other story here. So there's a comment made by a guest on a Star Wars fans YouTube channel that's given female fans an opportunity to remind the fandom that films are for everyone. So somebody commented that women don't even care about it.
Yes, that happened on the Star Wars Theory podcast or YouTube channel.
Yes, that's it. So he's saying, some guy said it's a man's little thing, let them have it, but they want to be like, oh, there's such a deprivation, we've got to be in it, so they could be a mini hero. So his commentary really spurred a lot of female Star Wars fans coming out and saying, basically, that's ridiculous, and they're tired of, males mansplaining the Star Wars theories to them, that females could be true fans as well. And actually similar to your comments just now, Nick, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Hera Syndulla in Disney Plus Ahsoka, her quote is, Star Wars started as a trend, starting with Princess Leia, and has continued and it's grown to a point where now it sort of doesn't really matter. Gender doesn't matter. So like you were saying. So it's Star Wars. We're all in this together. So there's something really special about being a part of something that's like, we don't really need to call attention to it because these characters transcend gender in that way. So again, similar to your thoughts here. So, I already know what our opinions are, but is that guy way out of line to say that the Star Wars universe is more for men than women? Is that a ridiculous comment, or does he have some point?
No, it's absurd. I know men and women Star Wars fans. They're just the same as the characters on screen. It's as diverse out in the fan community. That is just one pocket of incel-laden yelling and complaining about, that it's not the Star Wars they remember seeing, right? I want to blow their minds, and I love Daisy Ridley, but let's replace her with Taylor Swift, and let's blow this whole fucking thing up.
That's right.
Wide open.
Yep. Their heads will pop like a zit.
That's right. And she endorsed Joe Biden in the end credits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like the lightsaber pops up and it says, vote Joe on it.
I like it.
Yeah. Emperor Biden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Support your empire. Yeah.
So, Nick, what do you think? As Star Wars for everybody, is it the female? It's not just for men, right?
No, of course it's for everybody. And that, it's silly. I mean, and I think some people are a little slower to this concept than others, but society is moving away from these gender norms that I got to tell you, I know a lot of women who really like football and they genuinely like it. I know a lot of guys, straight guys, who like musicals and who like things that would not be typically seen as masculine. To say that something is for men or women specifically is ridiculous. It's for whoever likes it. There are many things across the board, and Star Wars is probably the least divisive of them. Of course, right. Star Wars can be loved and admired and adored by any type, any gender, any type of person, any age. Star Wars maybe more than most things, like I said, because it is so diverse, because it's fun, because it's an imaginative world. It's for anyone and everyone who enjoys it. If you like it, whatever that may be, if it's a TV show or a sport or an activity that maybe typically falls outside of what you would fit into the demographic of, you're allowed to like that thing. If that thing brings you joy and makes you happy, and then you're allowed to like that thing. So Star Wars
entertainment is entertainment.
Absolutely. If you like
a musical or it's Star Wars, doesn't matter.
That's right. Yep.
You like what you like.
Go ahead. That's right. And in that universe, you're right. It's an equal amount of men, women, and you say alien creatures that are both good and bad. Yep. You really don't call attention to it either way. It's not a strong female character. It's a strong character in that universe, a strong leader in that universe, whatever that being is, so yeah. Good stuff here, guys. Yeah. So another famous character that's making some social media, huge social media news here. So Nick, how are you doing? Are you doing all right, or?
Well, it's very touching that you asked that. It makes me feel good that you would reach out and ask that. And because you asked that, it makes me more open to telling you how I'm actually doing. And I've got good days and bad, but all in all, I think I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, that's good. So, a character that did ask that very question, Elmo from Sesame Street, just put out a simple tweet the other day here, guys. So, just a simple thing, hey everybody, how you doing? Some question like that, and that question alone, he said, Elmo's just checking in. How is everybody doing? Is what he put out there in tweet. And it really became quite the recent phenomenon out there on social media. So this thread really blew up, and people, for whatever reason, felt comfortable, whatever, to share some pretty serious stuff that was going on in their lives with Elmo and sharing with others. It became this really huge thread. Elmo recently appeared on the Today Show to talk about it. So first of all, pause there. So did you guys see the story about Elmo? Thoughts on Elmo posting this story, people sharing things? Dean, why don't we start with you? Did you hear about this story? What are your thoughts on Elmo just asking how people are doing and people really being honest about it? Go ahead.
At first, when I first read it, I didn't know exactly what it was. So many of these accounts like that from like brands and stuff, kind of put out weird questions, weird stuff. So I didn't think much of it. And then I started seeing the traction where people were answering and then screenshotting, the combined question with their answer and then posting those. I guess it's come to this awareness of kind of a mental health situation, right? Where, kind of given the, that maybe we all should check in with each other occasionally. You got a friend out there? Y'all could be good, but if you haven't talked to him in a minute, shoot a text. Reach out. Hey, you doing all right? Cool? You good? All right. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to reach out. And I think that's what Elmo was doing with America, and fuck, it responded, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, did you see this? What are your thoughts on this?
I did not. This was news to me when we started talking about this, but it's kind of a nice little feel good story, and like Dean said, it's like you said, there's a wink to a bit with mental health, and I think we've all got our group friends, and we've all got close friends that we check in with from now and again and stuff like that. I got buddies that we know when we're going through stuff kind of thing, and we just check in on each other. I'm grateful to have people like that. You know what I mean? It's nice that you've got people, that close to you that you can really confide in. Everybody needs that. And honestly, not everybody has that.
Sure.
So the fact that, that could be, because when I first heard the story, I'm kind of like, okay, it's kind of you first you chuckle at it, oh, okay, everybody's really opening up to Elmo online, but then you kind of go maybe those people maybe don't have that kind of dynamic where they've got a friend or two that's really close that they catch that vibe, people that I know when they're going through, and I just kind of give them a text, shoot them something, are they doing okay? They've done the same for me, and you confide in people like that, and maybe not everybody has that really at the ready. So whether it be Elmo or something, it just strikes a chord with you, and it's therapeutic. You feel the need. These people maybe, they feel that they can talk to Elmo in that way, even though it's in a public platform. But nobody knows who they are in a lot of that. It's something, and it's kind of nice, really. There's a little bit odd element there, but it is. It's a nice thing. And
I should Nick a text, and he responds, in a week or two. He'll finally respond back.
Yeah.
Okay, good, you're still here. That's good.
Yeah.
Did you make it off that rock climb?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a nice thing, and like I said, not everybody, maybe people don't always have that, and it's maybe serves as more of just an outlet more than it is. I don't think people actually this is Elmo. Elmo's a thing that's,
right,
really talking to them necessarily, but it's, I mean, let's face it, we all, in some capacity or another, grew up with Elmo. So many people have. It's almost like that Steve thing with Blue's Clues a while back when
Right.
he posted just like, just that kind of affirmation video that like, hey, I'm glad you're here, and like, it's just very nice, very just good vibes, very
You need that every once in a
kind,
while.
good-hearted, accepting. And if you don't have a friend group like that or people in your life that can offer that, sometimes you just kind of need that. It just feels good to come from somewhere. So it's a nice little. I like that story. It's a nice story.
Guys, can I take a moment? Can I take a moment?
Mhm.
You listeners, viewers, I just want to take this moment to say, hey, I don't give a fuck about you. That's all.
You know how I don't text you to see how you're doing? There's a reason for that. I don't fucking care.
Heartfelt. Well, let's just do our Ask an Idiot, and you can answer however you want to, guys. So let's answer Elmo's question. How are you? How are you really doing? So,
Brian, I want to hear from you first because you're asking us questions, and I care about you, and I want to know how you feel and how this impacted you. How does it make you feel?
I think it's nice. I think it's like you say, it's a safe figure that people felt comfortable to speak to, and I think as the thread continued to grow, it's really nice that people felt comfortable to share some personal things. I didn't read the thread. I'm sure there's very touching and heartfelt things in there. That it's just nice that people come together like that. So. Yeah, like I said, it's a comfortable thing that people grew up with, and I think it's really nice. So I think that people need. I'm sure a lot of people felt maybe they don't have someone that's reaching out to them and checking on them, or maybe they do, and it's just stuff that they don't really want to get into with their loved ones because they don't care. They just don't like. They don't like to do. They feel that I go through that sometimes too, where you feel like you're maybe burdening people with your own shit, and people have their own shit, and that's hard for. I don't know. People got to get over.
You are,
some
but
of
I
that
pretend
too.
to listen.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so I think it's a nice thing. So short answer. That's good.
Yeah.
So how are you? Really? So, Dean, how are you? How do you want to? You can answer that question that you want to. So, you're answering Elmo's. How are you?
What's your fucking business?
There you go.
No.
Okay.
Closed fucking book. That's how I am.
Piss off. How am I? I'm good actually. I'm surprisingly good. I think. If we want to break kayfabe here and be honest, quite a few. Maybe what 3 years back. There was a period of time where I wasn't. But
right around the start of this show, we were going through some tough times 3 years ago. Yeah, when this show started up. Yeah.
Yeah, and
the show saved you, is what you said I think, several times.
Exactly. Well, when you get listeners, Brian, when you get listeners in Germany and Brazil, it does something to a pal's heart and mind.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm doing actually family wise, work wise, podcast wise. I'm probably doing the best I've done in a while.
That's great.
I can stand to have a couple better shoulders and do a sit up or two, but other than that, I'm doing all right.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nikolai, how are you?
I'm doing well. Life's a funny thing. It's it's been an interesting little while here for me personally, but it's been good, and all the ways that are important things are good. I'm learning how to. I feel like I'm evolving as a person in many ways. A lot of things have changed in life for me over the last year or so. A lot of that's with kids growing up and life's changing. Different, you're not always needed in the same ways that you were before, and it's just kind of it's transitioning from little kid dad to, and I'm still got one kind of in it, but learning how to be a different kind of parent. And things at work have changed and things like that. All of these, which mostly for the good, and so I'm very grateful for that. But definitely, certainly it's it's been interesting. I feel like you're riding a wave sometimes. You go through peaks and valleys, and you learn how to adjust. You learn how to be better for it. But I'm good and grateful that I have you guys. And like I mentioned before, I have some friends that when I've been struggling with some stuff, and I got a couple close friends that also end up kind of going through some stuff at the same time. It's kind of a nice little support system we're able to use with each other and check in on each other and kind of, bounce some things that we don't maybe talk about with other people or whatever off of one another. But just really, I'm grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for the life that I have and my family. And at the end of the day, like, just grateful everyone's healthy, everyone's good. And, with every thing that changes or feels uncomfortable or uneasy at times, I know that that's part of life is always changing, and to be comfortable in a spot is to be stagnant. And so I'm more open to different things and changes in life and seeing what new challenges and joys lie ahead for me. So things like that. But I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Brian, how are you doing?
Very nice, sir.
Really, how are you doing?
No, good to hear. Many emotions as you get a little bit older. Yeah, like you say, it's still learning to adjust to being a young woman.
Like you say,
you have those thoughts to be. Well, no, all seriousness, man. It's like there's less time ahead of you than more time behind you than ahead of you, and so those thoughts can creep into your head if you're not careful. It's like that can freak you out a little bit. That you start to think about numbers and, well, how many Christmases do I have? All this stuff starts to creep in your head, man. It's just like, well, how many good years? We should. Ali said something the other day. We should travel while we can still do it. I'm just like, God damn it! I mean, Jesus,
it's heavy.
Christ.
That's a heavy thing.
You start to think about that.
Really think about, yeah.
So scared to get older at times, but also very blessed, like you guys are feeling, with never really feel alone, which is wonderful, with family and friends, and you can reach out and someone's there. Excited with the idea to take additional steps with Ali and have a family house, a home, which all that sounds incredibly appealing. It's something I never really had much, since I moved out of my parents' house, So all that stuff is it. But again, overall blessed. At the end of the day, it's a lot more happy and peaceful thoughts than thoughts of fear of the future and retirement and all these things that are looming out there, where it could be very frightening. One day at a time. And I guess I just really appreciate the quality time with you guys, and again, family and everybody. So it's good overall. It's a good thing. Like I said, blessed in many ways. That's the main thought that keeps coming to mind. So, yeah, it's probably been the most serious segment we've done in ever. Maybe.
Really.
It's cute that you think you'll be able to retire. That's adorable.
Don't even get me started. That can freak me out big time. That's one of the biggest fears
until we fucking die.
Yeah, one of the biggest fears that I have. So if you haven't bought a fucking shirt yet, let's get on the ball out there, everybody.
We have two different online store options for you to purchase from. There's really no excuse.
That's right. No, that's good. And we're interested in how you're doing out there as well. And again, in all seriousness, I know we all agree with. Yeah, let us know. And again, listen, if anybody listens to this, we're not big. We know that. We do this for fun and connecting to each other and everything else. And that's why we keep doing it. At the end of the day, it allows us to, kind of forces us in a nice way to.
But if you do see Nick out on the street, stop him, hold him, and tell him how you're doing.
He loves it.
I like it. Yeah, I do.
He loves it.
I always tickle him from a stranger.
Tickle him like Elmo.
That's right.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, again, if you take a second, if you listen to part of this show or all the show once in a while, we give you a pause, something to focus on, outside your normal troubles or whatever. I mean, we appreciate that. So, we're happy to do that for you, so
for sure.
That's it. All right. Good stuff. So I know a lot of people about this podcast feel like they could listen, endlessly and just never get tired of us ever, as much as they listen, like Seth. I think maybe like to Jonathan, maybe.
Yep.
Well, there are
Couple.
some people that like they find that one episode that they love. Maybe it's 168 or 159, which is pretty good. But they take that one episode and they can rewatch and re-listen to it over and over and over again because it's something they found something that they enjoyed about it immensely.
That's right. That's right. And there's some movies like that out there you might feel the same way about, and we're going to talk about that and those after the break. That was right on time. This may cut off at any moment there. Nice. Good job. That was good.
4, 3, 2.
Hello and welcome to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I'm Millennial Nick, alongside Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean. And we can't get enough of you, and you clearly can't get enough of us, because here you are, back for a third segment. It seems like no matter how many segments we put out, no matter how many episodes, you can't get enough. You just keep coming back for more. It's like it never gets old to you. Much like on our main segment this evening, gentlemen, we are going to be discussing some of our movies that to us have infinite rewatchability. These are movies that you can watch time and time and time again and always enjoy for various reasons. So we're going to go around and we're going to discuss some of our favorite films of all time, certainly, but for specific reasons maybe, or for whatever reason that you come up with, what are some of the movies you just can't watch it enough times? You never get sick of it. It never gets old. Infinite rewatchability. Dean, why don't you give us one of those right now?
All right. Well, this has been on lists prior for many different reasons because it's one of the greatest films ever made. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your Huckleberry. Tombstone to me. If it is on, it is actually, it's one of those movies that I will reach out. Because a lot of movies, if you're flipping through, I'll watch it. I can watch this anytime, no matter where it's at. That I'll reach out and watch, multiple times. So, Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer. I mean, the cast.
A lot
is
of great
amazing.
one-line, a lot of great quotable things in that movie. Yep.
Totally. So, number one on my Mount Rushmore is Tombstone.
Yeah, I think that's one. It's like some of these movies. It's like it's no matter how many times you watch it, you always the emotions are always there, and that we know exactly what's going to happen. But every time I watch that movie, it still gets me excited. And then when Kurt Russell shoots the guy on the platform and has the Marshal badge, every time I'm just like, "Fuck yeah!" You get that. You just get that emotion. You know what I'm saying? Just
I love
every
the
time.
one where he beats the shit out of Billy Bob Thornton in the beginning.
Yes, smacks him.
To me, that's my badass. It's like, fuck him. Like beating up the bully, and he ain't doing shit about it. Fuck him.
You gonna do something? Or you just gonna sit there and bleed?
One of the greatest lines. Come on, it's so amazing.
Yes, and arguably the greatest collection of mustaches in any movie.
Oh, absolutely.
It's up there.
Yeah,
it's up there. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
All right, Brian, what do you have on your list?
I'll give it to my shirt here. It's hard to see. I'm wearing a white shirt, and it's kind of hard to see what I have on
see
here.
It. Yep.
Animal House on my shirt. This is the movie poster. A couple scenes in that may not hold up the greatest today. I get it, but it just that some of these movies. It also depends on when it came out and like your connection to these films. You know what I mean? So
this being on your list, people might think you are a PIG pig.
That's right. Is it supposed to be this soft? Ali says that to me all the time. Is it supposed to be this soft? I don't know. I always think she's quoting the movie.
No, she's never seen it.
She must be.
Yeah, of course. No, but that was one that came out on cable when I was a young kid. It came out like in the early 80s, I think in late 70s, early 80s when it came out. John Belushi at his best. The cast is phenomenal. Just hilarious movie. Again, same type of deal. Quotable. I know exactly what's going to happen at every turn of that fucking movie. I could recite almost that entire movie, I feel like. But again, it's just how the lines and everything are delivered. It's beautifully shot. The scenes are great. So it's just hilarious. So, Animal House.
Perfect.
There you go.
Nice.
To this day, I have the John Belushi college poster. He's wearing the college sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And the scene where the guy drops the case of Jack Daniels, and he's like, ah, this is that scene. He's kind of yelling
Right.
for the college. You know, you've seen that poster of John Belushi still fucking hanging up on my stairway. Will it make it to the next house? No, absolutely not. Not in public anyway.
Not in such a prominent place, that's for sure.
No,
but it'll be there. No.
Maybe not in the stairway like it is at my place.
It'll either make
Yeah.
your man cave or your man trash can.
That's right. But in this house, God damn it,
That's right.
John Belushi is proudly displayed. So that's it.
Yeah.
Who's up next, Nick?
That'd be me.
Nikolai.
Yeah. So similar to what you're saying about Animal House, right? Like I've seen this movie a million times. You know exactly how it goes. You know how it ends. You know, I know where every climactic moment is. I can recite all the lines. I know, where every almost breath is in this movie. Slathered with batter, number 9. It doesn't matter how many times I watch it. It's just I can watch it over and over and over. The ending never gets
Slathered with batter. Nice.
I agree. The
Number
ending
9.
is
Number 9, the ninth
Yeah.
one. Is the best.
It's much better than 6, 7, and 8. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, they really hit their
right.
stride with 9.
Eight, they were getting their footing. They were getting their feels there.
Yeah.
And then really
no.
9 to the moon.
Hey, in
I
all
agree with
seriousness, there's going to be a lot of comedies on my list because comedies are what I always enjoy rewatching the most. Mainly quotable lines and just like Brian said with Animal House, like just all the years of watching it and being able to quote it, and I don't know, just the strikes a chord. Happy Gilmore is always going to be one for me. Again, it overlaps with our favorite comedy movies. I'm sure I got a couple on here. But Happy Gilmore's
breakfast.
so damn you pieces of shit for breakfast. No, just so fucking good, man. Just such a, and I'm a big fan of movies with the delivery of lines in that movie is just so incredible. And Adam Sandler, especially a lot of his early movies like that. I mean, just the nuance of the way that things are said and lines are delivered, just so funny. He just had I don't really know how to explain it, but his movies really had a way of like kind of a unique feel for them. And Happy Gilmore is my favorite one ever.
Mm-hmm.
So Happy Gilmore is on my list.
That's a good
Dean?
one. All right, number 2. You watch this, you watch it again, you watch it again, and then you watch it again. Because you really want to get the feel for Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is rewatchable as his day is. Over and over. Again, very quotable. It's a good story. It's a fun story. Bill Murray is it's Bill Murray. What can you say, right? Ned Ryerson steals the show every time, no matter what. Him and his wet shoe.
Mm-hmm.
That was our name for trivia last night.
It was our trivia team name.
Ned Ryerson's wet shoe.
Nice.
Didn't help us but yeah.
No, you didn't help them. You didn't help them.
I didn't help them. I didn't help nothing. Groundhog Day is my number 2. Brian.
Good movie. I'm gonna give you another one with John. So John Belushi has 2 on my list that he stars in. The Blues Brothers. Now again, this is a movie. Again, it came out on cable as a kid. Every time it came on, it's just one of those movies. If it was on, we watched it. That was it. And then I eventually got a copy of it, and that was a movie. Animal House and Blues Brothers, for that matter. It was a thing where a bunch of us would go out to the bars, come back to our place, whether it be Cunningham and I had an apartment, and then Cooper and I, a buddy, had a place as well, and it just want to put something on TV that was entertaining, made you laugh, and you don't want to think about what you're putting on. It was either the Blues Brothers or Animal House. So it transcended when we were kids watching those movies, growing up and watching it together, to your young adults and it's still on the television watching it, just having fun, enjoying those films. So
I think it's also one of those movies that you get the jokes more when you get older. There's some that go over your head, and
Absolutely.
then as you older, you appreciate it a little more.
Yeah, I've had a lot of movies like that I saw as a kid, and then I watched it, and I'm like, oh, like it was always just a funny line before, and then when you kind of rediscover the joke, or you discover the joke for the first time, and you're like, oh, it's kind of fun to be able to.
And Naked Gun movies did that to me too.
Yeah.
A lot of those like kind of weird adult lines that you're like, as a kid, you chuckle because everybody
silly,
else is
goofy, like whatever,
right?
But you don't
and then
really
when you're
get
older, you're
why.
like, oh, that's fucking great. That's a great joke.
That's it. Blues Brothers. There you
Nice.
go.
And me? Am I up? Okay.
Yeah,
Brian, we can treat that as a good segue. You got some John Belushi ones. I'm going to keep it all in the family here. Here's a Jim Belushi one. Ready for this? Jim Belushi film. You guessed it, Jingle All the Way. That's right, of course. It has infinite rewatchability for me because it is my favorite movie of all time. I never get sick of watching it. I watch it probably 3 to 5 times every Christmas season alone, not to mention Christmas in July and any other time throughout the year, which, I mean, it's not commonly on TV throughout the year when it's not Christmas time, but I could watch Jingle all the way.
Now when you're not watching
all the
it,
way
you can read
through
it.
the year. That's right. And now I can read the original screenplay. That is correct. So Jingle All the Way obviously is my all-time fave. Love me some Arnold, love me some Christmas, and love me some Turbo Man. And of course, Sinbad, who never did, in fact, play a genie coming out of a boombox. Jingle All the Way.
Correct.
Great,
that's not correct at all.
Great Jim Belushi film. Jingle All the Way. There you go.
Excellent.
All right. I'm going to go on this theme of Jace. All right, because Jim Belushi was supposed to be in this film.
Okay,
it was written for him,
but he was busy doing Jingle All the Way.
Nope. I'm not Jim Belushi. I'm sorry, John Belushi.
John Belushi. Okay.
John Belushi was supposed to be in this film,
but he was busy supporting his brother doing Jingle All the Way.
No, him not breathing stopped him from doing the film. He was supposed to be in Ghostbusters.
Yes, good one. Yes,
Ghostbusters, and we have a new one coming out here this month or next month.
I think March. Yeah. March or April, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Looks good.
But the original Ghostbusters it's the definition of infinitely rewatchable. Anytime it's on, no matter what part of it you come to, you're sticking around to the end. It's quotable, like all of these movies probably should be. It is quotable and just amazing. And the effects on it, especially for its time, were off the chart, right?
Yeah, holds up great.
Yeah, and today still they look great. So
great pick.
Ghostbusters.
Matter of fact, I saw a new trailer for the new Ghostbusters, Dean, and they're really doing that franchise right. I mean, the old guys are in this one again, the new one, and they're paying more homages to the classic Ghosts. Yes, so Slimer makes an appearance in the trailer, the original Slimer, and a couple of other ghosts from, I think, the librarian ghosts they run into again, or something like the Lion, in the New York Public Library.
Right.
So just well done. I'm with you. That's actually a very good pick. I agree with you. I could watch that movie. I'd never get tired of that movie. Good stuff. Okay, so another one I grew up with as a kid that I still enjoy thoroughly to this day, Young Frankenstein. I'll talk about this many times on the podcast. Like you said, it's made several lists of movies and all that. Some of the best work of Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder, Madeline Kahn, Terry Garr, Peter Boyd. Just the cast is comedy gold. Great homages to the old classic Frankenstein monster movies. And as you guys know, I named my dog Igor after the great Marty Feldman's character Igor in the movie. I have a poster in my hallway, which again probably won't make it, but that's okay. That's all right to the next place. But love that film. Again, just never get tired of it. Peyton and I would watch it every Halloween season, and just became a viewing tradition in the house. So Never get tired of that film. Young Frankenstein.
Good movie.
Nick?
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. Another one. Okay, I'll give you one here too that I grew up with. Has also been on common lists, and it's right up there with Happy Gilmore as far as all-time comedies. Potentially even it might even be more quotable to me personally than Happy Gilmore, and I just love it dearly. Wayne's World is just
Oh,
yeah.
a
okay.
masterpiece. I fucking love Wayne's World,
Good.
man.
Good
It's
call.
so good. I've spent my whole life watching it and reciting it, and
Yes.
it all the same parts make me laugh just as hard every time. There's something so perfect about it. It's so funny when I've watched things about, like what they never expected that movie to hit the way it did. I mean, it's obviously Wayne's World, as we all know, originated as
shouldn't be a good
sketch
movie.
on Saturday Night Live. I mean, it's
Right.
and it was
There's no
they
business
tried
being as good
other-
as it is.
yeah, they tried other movies for Saturday Night Live sketches, and it never really worked, and they really didn't expect that for Wayne's World. But man, just so brilliantly done. Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, just an incredible job. So funny and really encapsulates a certain place and time and in pop culture and a lifestyle,
When's the last time
if
you
you
watched
will.
it?
It's just probably I've certainly within the last 2 years. I mean, I watch it.
Because the older
pretty
you get, the more
frequently.
you appreciate the very quick but subtle performance of Ed O'Neill behind Al Bundy.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
as the,
Stan
behind the donut shop.
Yeah,
So
Stan
good.
Mikita's Donuts. Yeah, which is based off of Tim Hortons. It's essentially because Stan Mikita was a famous player for the Chicago Blackhawks, and they're in Chicago, the Chicago area. So on it, they make the Stan Mikita's Donuts, which is a takeoff of Tim Hortons.
That's cool.
But yeah, yep. His name wasn't Stan because it was named after Stan Mikita. I can't remember what his name was. Yeah, why is it when you kill a man or whatever, but in cold blood, it's murder, but when you do it in the throes of passion or something, yeah, it's
so
something
good.
like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good movie. But yeah, Wayne's World. Wayne's World's up there for me. Dean.
Me. Well, then I'm going to go number 4 on my list. I'm going Jaws.
Yeah, good.
I saw it when I was a kid. It was what it was. But then when I had Carter, huge fan of sharks, we watched it. Maybe some say a little younger than he should have been, but I really got into it. Not only just the idea of how much he enjoyed it, but like it's just almost a perfect movie. Like the film, the cinematography, the camera angles, even the audio. If you listen to it. It's just a brilliant film. It's not just a blockbuster. It's definitely not one of those movies where, the book's better. Don't read the book. It's garbage. But the film is, again, perfect. It is to me, and I will watch it anytime. Over and over again. Yep. So Jaws.
All the scenes when the 3 guys are on the boat.
Yeah.
Is just some of the best film you're going to see. I mean, just the dialogue, the acting, the scene when they're sitting in the cabin, and he's telling the story about the sharks and the water. Oh my God. It's just like, it's just riveting dialogue. Yeah.
He wrote that. The night before.
Man.
What's his name? Wrote it himself.
Wow. Phenomenal. Good stuff. Let's see here. I've got. Well, I can't leave this off the list here. Star Wars: New Hope, the original Star Wars. I could watch again. I have watched it infinite times as a kid. Where it all started. Again, I know we've talked about it on our rankings and this and that. Several times on the show here, but again, it was the very first one. It has a beginning, middle, end. That's it. It's a complete movie. It doesn't have to tie into anything else. They didn't make it to tie into anything else necessarily. They didn't know if it was going to hit or not. So it's a very great, complete story. The introduction of all the classic characters. The acting is good. The storyline is great. Visuals far beyond its time, as we all know. So that's one Star Wars movie I could watch it over and over again and just not get tired of it. It always takes me back without fail to those emotions and feelings I had as a young kid. Watching that movie for the first time. It still gets me excited, still gets me tense in the Death Star trench scenes and all the stuff. Again, you know exactly what's going to happen, but that's what makes it such a good film, is it puts you in those moments so well. So Star Wars New Hope.
Just a fun movie too. Like I mean, obviously sometimes you get so close to the painting that when you step back and you really think about it as just watching it, it's just a good, fun adventure movie. That you can take outside of the whole Skywalker saga, the multi-film thing, and just what a fun, enjoyable movie. And I mean, maybe I'm assuming that's probably why they chose to make that one, is it was the easiest one to isolate and make its own kind of story, because they didn't know how popular it would be or that there would be anymore. But it's just a really good, fun, convenient, good little adventure movie, just a neat little packaged up all on its own. You could watch that movie and enjoy it as a standalone story every time.
Absolutely. I'll put that up against any of the, again, with the exception of the original trilogy. It'd be better than any other individual movie, any other ones, in my opinion, still, to this day.
Yeah,
so,
1,000%.
There you go.
All right.
Nick,
my next one, the reason I put this one on my list is a little bit different. Nightmare Before Christmas. I put it on my list because it's not necessarily one of my all-time favorite movies, but the music's great. The storyline is unique and very good. But for me, visually, it is so, and especially when you put it back in 1992 or 4, whatever year it was made. I mean, the animation is so incredible, and when you stop and think about like all the effort that was put into every little minute detail and every little movement of every even background character and things like that, it's really striking to see and appreciate all the work that went into it, how well done it is, how amazing it still looks today. And like I said, to boot, the story's good, the music, the songs are catchy, the music's great, and it's just this wonderful little weird mashup of holidays and taking the kind of dark tones of Halloween and splashing the bright, Christmassy things and the way that they kind of mash together and intertwine. It's just a really just beautifully done movie. So I just think from a visual standpoint, it's very rewatchable. You can always pick out things that you never really noticed if you just kind of really zone in on it and pay attention. There's always something new to see, I feel like, in it. And it's like I said, it's a really good, solid movie all the way around. I know both of my kids have gone through huge phases of it through the years of that's like being their favorite movie. We've saw it a million times when Lane was little. We saw it a million times when Oliver was little because it's all they wanted to watch. And I have seen it a bunch of times and it's always captivating every single time. So Nightmare Before Christmas.
1,000%.
Good one.
Dean.
All right. Last on my list here is simple. It is Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep. Absolutely.
Talk about quotable. You can recite it. It's infinitely recitable, and not just like quotes. Like I'm reading the script along with it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I think it's time. Carter's 12. I told him I think it's time that he watches Dumb and Dumber. So I think that's going to be one that we put on and see if it holds up in this generation's eyes.
So you're saying they still have a chance?
And there's a chance.
We landed on the moon. Our past heads are falling off.
Swimmy, swammy, sweat. Oh, Samsonite. It's right on the briefcase.
Oh, way off. Look at that butt. Yeah,
I watched that a while. That's good. That's good. That is
still beautiful accent. Where is it from? Where are you from? Austria. Austria, beautiful country. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. It's brilliant. It's brilliant how stupid it. Like the stupidity it's written with is brilliant. Like obviously, but like the jokes that are made to highlight how dumb they are. It's so brilliantly done.
And one of my
it's
favorite is
massive.
not even a line. It's when he's getting in a snowball fight with her, Jeff Daniels, and he like starts like kicking her ass, like smashing her face until he realizes. So good.
She's playfully tossing one, and he just beams her right in the fucking face with it.
Oh my god, that's good.
Or when he's shitting and his legs are up in the air.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good pick.
That's funny.
Brian.
Number one, I mentioned I think recently on other again on the list and all that. Again, never get tired of this movie. I'll laugh every single time I watch it without fail. I must watch it every summer season, or it's not the end of the summer until I watch this movie. Caddyshack, just love it. Just love it again. It connects me to when I was a kid. The friendship, watching the movie with Tim Lester has been on the show here a few times and others. So we had the connection as friends. Quoted 1,000 quotes. If you play golf and don't quote Caddyshack, then if you're over 40 and don't quote Caddyshack on the golf course, then it's odd. If you don't know some of the quotes, really, if you're over 40, especially. But I just love it.
I defy anybody at that age to putt and not at least in their head go no 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 no.
Absolutely. I know we talked about it recently because the Cindy Morgan, who was in Caddyshack, has passed away recently, so we kind of talked about it a little bit there. But anyway, just love it. One of my favorite comedies and favorite movies of all time. Is it the best movie in the world? Absolutely not. It just dumb, ridiculous, never took itself seriously, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So that's it. That's my 5.
All right. For my 5th, I'm kind of going to cheat because I don't know which one to pick. They're very different movies, but very much the same kind of tone, and I flip-flop back and forth in my head of which one I think is funnier on any given day. I've in the past said that I feel like if I ever met Jason Segel, we would be best friends. I just don't know what it is, but there's something about the way he writes movies or writes interactions with characters in movies that I don't know. It clicks with me. It's between Forgetting Sarah Marshall and The 5-Year Engagement. Both of those movies I never get sick of them. They are both incredible comedies, both within the last, Sarah Marshall's probably within the last 15, and 5-Year Engagement might be more like 10, but I fucking love those movies. I can watch them over and over and over again. Similar things that I liked about some of the older ones that I grew up with, like Happy Gilmore and Wayne's World. There's so many quotable lines, so many hilarious characters and interactions between characters. But yeah, I don't know. I'm picking them both, The 5-Year Engagement and Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Both, obviously, Jason Segel as the lead, and I adore both of those films. So those are my 5/6 that are on my Mount Rushmore. So was I last? Did you guys all do 5?
Yep, we did 5.
All right. Do you have honorable mentions?
I'm gonna run through my list. It's only a few here.
Yeah.
I have Anchorman.
Yeah, it's good.
Quotable as anything. Mm-hmm. I have Star Wars like Brian did, and then The Big Lebowski.
I have that one down as well. Yeah, The Big Lebowski.
So that's my honorable mentions.
Yep, very good.
Nick.
In addition to The Big Lebowski, we've already named a lot of the ones that I honorable mentions, but another one I have is South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. It is a musical, and all of the songs are to this day burned into my head. I can sing that entire movie. There's so many great, ridiculously, if you know South Park, obviously it's been around for a while. Everybody knows how it is. Just fucking hilarious. It's a masterpiece. The South Park movie, incredible. So I put that on my honorable mentions as well.
I think that spawned their musical when they felt they could write a musical. I think. After that movie.
That makes sense.
But anyway, yeah.
Yep. Weird Science, I got that one down too. That's one of my all-time favorites. I'm doubling up on movies that I've just put down for favorite comedies when we've done that episode, but absolutely love that movie. It's so great.
I love it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
There's one thing that a teenage boy, there's nothing more than a teenage boy loves more than his grandparents.
That's right.
Just some of those odd, just like even the small quotes are great in that movie. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. No, but yeah, that's I think that's about it for me. So, Brian, you got some more honorable mentions to throw in the mix here?
Geez, I got a few here. Airplane,
Oh yeah. Yep.
Blazing Saddles. I haven't
Yep.
watched that in a long time, but never get tired of that movie. One watched around Halloween time. Return of the Living Dead. I just love that movie. It's one of the best zombie movies of all time. Just a huge fan of that film. And all in the same vein, Army of Darkness. Never get tired of that. It's the third of the Evil Dead movies with Bruce Campbell, phenomenal. Christmas time, Christmas Vacation makes every holiday list.
Oh, yeah.
I never get tired of watching that movie at Christmas time, and I could watch it now and be perfectly fine with it. Naked Gun, along the same line as the Airplane humor. Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill 1 and 2. I think those.
Yep.
Watch those.
Pulp Fiction. I didn't realize that.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I had Tombstone. Dean, you had that on your list. Smoking the Bandit.
Ooh, that's good.
Does some of that hold up today? No, but it's Jackie Gleason at some of his best. Just 1000% 70s movie, a lot of fun, and really any Sean Connery or Roger Moore James Bond movie. Any of those two guys. Now the Daniel Craig ones and the Pierce Brosnan, they're good, but they're not for me as rewatchable as just throw it on. It's mindless fun as the older Bond movies with Sean Connery and Roger Moore. Those I could watch, over and over again. Many more, but that's what I have for honorable mention.
Nice.
So,
very good.
Okay, good stuff. Well, we mentioned some qualities, just real fast here. So we mentioned a few qualities at random and all that. Are there any other qualities, like what makes a movie rewatchable for you? We probably some of the comments we've already kind of made throughout this thing here. So Nick, again, why are these movies? Why are they rewatchable for you? What are the qualities that are rewatchable?
Quotable lines is something that I seem to reference a lot. Quotable lines, maybe a little. Another thing that's big for me is like interactions between characters, the way lines are delivered. Those are big ones for me. Certainly iconic things about the movie, whether it be like a piece of wardrobe or perhaps an accessory, like if there's an electric bike or something like that. I love movies that feature those, and the movie of your life could actually feature an electric bike today if you simply go to Facebook and search RPM Bike Shop. That's right. There are friends located in Carrollton, Ohio. They have the finest selection of electric bikes to offer you, the star in the movie of your life. If you don't believe me, you can go to their Facebook page or perhaps their website, which is rpmbikeshop.com. You can poke around on there and see for yourself. You can also give them a call at 330-808-7792 and be on your very own path to being the leading man or woman in the movie of your life with your fantastic new electric bike from RPM Bike Shop today. So, but those are big ones. Those are all big hallmarks of quotable lines, delivery of lines, electric bikes.
Sure.
Excellent. Dean, what about you? What makes a rewatchable film for you? Yep.
Everything that Nick said, and let me add, the way you felt when you originally watched it. That seems to be, when we were all explaining our movies, kind of a theme throughout. Was when you watched it for the first time, or when you used to watch as a kid, maybe the moment in your life or something you were doing, or it's part of it. It's part of that brings you back to those feels, brings you back to those memories a little bit. When you appreciated, because it might be a movie that you laughed at so much as a kid. And like you said, Brian, some of these didn't quite hold up in some aspects, but they did back then. So, you still have that kid in you laughing his ass off at maybe the inappropriate jokes that would be considered inappropriate now. But again, it's still the memory of when you first saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I with you. It's just a lot of these for me, they were readily available because obviously these are movies that when I was a kid, I had to take what I could get on cable. Right, there was no VHS yet. There was no streaming. Obviously, none of that stuff was around. So you just had to catch something on cable and enjoy it. And those are a lot of these movies. Matter of fact, all of mine here. I go back and look at my list again here with Caddyshack, Blues Brothers, Animal House, Star Wars, and Frankenstein. It was stuff that, except for Star Wars as the exception, I just caught as a kid for the first time on cable and television, and it's those connections to those friendships at the time that I continue to grow up with. Those movies are definitely ingrained in my memory, and like I said, all the things you said too with the quotability and and all that other stuff. So very, very good. So excellent.
I would like to make one
Sure.
or /2 more last minute suggestion here. The most recent by far, the Spider-Verse movies, either one. I don't care if it's across or into it's those movies. Every time they're on, they're commonly on in my house because one of the kids is watching it. I'm stuck every time. I have to sit there and watch it. And there again, it's kind of one of those visually stunning movies. The storylines are so damn good. And they're like movies that I'm just like, I'm really grateful that like they exist. They're just really fucking good. Like they're very enjoyable every time.
I need to watch
both of those Spider-Verse movies are just off the charts, amazing. But sorry, I had to sneak those in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that's good stuff. Well, our favorite films are definitely, we all agree, they're a part of our lives. If I may, they're not unlike a tattoo. They're a part of us.
Forever.
They're a part of us forever. And if you want to have something a part of you forever, consider getting yourself a tattoo at Golden Heart Tattoo, our final sponsor in Norton, Ohio, for the Northeast Ohio area. Find them on Facebook at Golden Heart Norton, Norton. Give them a call at 234-706-2982 and find them online at goldenhearttattoos.com. And get yourself like a Dumb and Dumber tattoo or something like that. Wayne's World, whatever. It's something that's a passion for you.
I would like a Wayne's World tattoo, actually.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I'm one that just says PIG pig.
I like it. Underneath it, is it supposed to be this soft? I like it.
That's right.
Yep. Gentlemen, we have done it. We've come to an end of another infinitely watchable episode of Convincing Idiots. This episode here, I think, Nick, this is going to be viewed for sure with people in a luxury bunker.
Absolutely.
Without question.
For sure.
Episode 176 for sure. I mean, this is up there. This might get like 63 views or listens, something like that. It's really going to just burn up the internet.
It's going to break the internet. That's right.
Especially in a post-apocalyptic world, I feel. So take us out, Nick. So you remember this now, too. So since it's going to be one of our most popular episodes, I'm sure we're going to have an outro that will measure up to the test here.
Worthy.
Okay. All right. Wow. Right on the spot like that. Okay. Come up with something, they say, and just fucking wing it. Okay. Well, Elmo thinks that you should go find Convincing Idiot. I can't do Elmo. It's an octave I can't do. But I would like to say, I don't know if you guys saw this or not. This week on Saturday Night Live, a very familiar sketch was brought back. Did either one of you see any of this?
Yes.
There was a musical guest, Justin Timberlake, and one of his buddies and a former Saturday Night Live alum, Jimmy Fallon, came back to reprise one of their favorite sketches of all time, which, of course, was the Barry Gibb Talk Show. It was fantastic. They brought it out. They were talking about politics, talking about crazy cool chest hair and medallions. That's right. All that and so much more. Speaking of which, if you want to go and find all that and so much more, you can go to Convincing Idiots Linktree. All you got to do is type in Convincing Idiots Linktree. Linktr. You can find links to all of our favorite social media accounts. You can also find that and everything else that your heart desires on convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Barragib.
I'm the Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to come back, rewatch, re-listen to many more fantastic episodes and outros from us, your friends at Convincing Idiots? Good night. Ah. Hey, did you like that video? You know you did, and we know you did. So stop screwing around and go like that video, subscribe to our channel, and join us for some more.
Ham gravy.
Christmas beer that got me.
Oh, well, there you
Oh,
go.
or, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, was
it's
that
been
the
Muni Lot.
Muni Lot? That's right. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I couldn't remember which one it was. That's right,
Nice.
Muni Lot. How is it?
It's good. It's solid.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
Is it is it a lager or something?
that. I don't know. Lager, Pilsner. It tastes like.
Pilsner. Okay.
It's good though.
Cool,
I
cool.
like it.
Good.
Flavorful,
Yeah.
just like Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right.
Lots of flavor. It's got the flavor saver.
Yep, but it was probably, yeah, just like me, it was flavorful, but probably better more toward Christmas time.
Right.
Yeah.